Amnesty International has accused Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of committing war crimes, particularly for using starvation as a weapon against civilians. These are serious allegations that draw attention to the humanitarian crisis unfolding in Gaza. According to Amnesty, Netanyahu's policies have intentionally targeted civilians by cutting off access to basic necessities like food, water, and medicine. The result is a crisis that is both tragic and deliberate, with civilians in Gaza enduring immense suffering as a result of these actions. The people of Gaza, already enduring hardships under a blockade, now face even greater challenges. Hospitals, already overwhelmed by the wounded, cannot treat the sick and injured due to a lack of supplies. Families are trapped in their homes without access to food, and entire neighborhoods have been left without power. This is not a result of random violence or collateral damage, but a calculated effort to break the will of the Palestinian people. Netanyahu's government is using deprivation as a tool of war, one that targets the most vulnerable: women, children, and the elderly. These actions are not self-defense, as Netanyahu claims, but are war crimes. The deliberate targeting of civilians, the destruction of essential infrastructure, and the infliction of widespread hunger are violations of international law. These actions are designed to create a situation where the people of Gaza have no choice but to surrender or perish. This is not a legitimate strategy of warfare, but a war crime, and it must be recognized as such by the international community. Amnesty has called for Netanyahu to be held accountable for his actions. The organization has gone so far as to warn that if Netanyahu travels to any country that is a member of the International Criminal Court, he should be arrested and extradited. Netanyahu should not be allowed to freely travel without facing consequences for his role in these crimes. His actions must be scrutinized, and those responsible for war crimes must face justice. One recent example that highlights the failure to hold Netanyahu accountable is his invitation to Hungary. Despite the war crimes accusations, Hungary has invited Netanyahu to visit. Amnesty has condemned this invitation, calling it a disregard for international law. Hungary's decision to extend this invitation is a direct violation of the responsibility to ensure that leaders accused of war crimes are held accountable. Amnesty has urged Hungarian authorities to arrest Netanyahu and extradite him to the International Criminal Court to face charges. This raises a critical question. Why is Netanyahu being allowed to move freely despite these serious accusations? Why does the international community fail to act? The people of Gaza are paying the price for these failures, trapped in a situation where they are deprived of basic rights and suffering daily. The world cannot continue to ignore the plight of Palestinians, especially when their suffering is a direct result of the actions of a powerful leader like Netanyahu. The international community must take action. Netanyahu must be held accountable for his role in the ongoing war crimes against Palestinians. The International Criminal Court was established for situations like this to ensure that leaders who commit atrocities are brought to justice, regardless of their power or position. If Netanyahu is allowed to continue his actions without facing consequences, it sends a dangerous message to the world that powerful leaders can commit war crimes with impunity. The people of Gaza have endured decades of hardship, occupation, and violence, but they remain unbroken. Their resistance to oppression is a testament to their strength and resilience. The world must stand with them, demand justice, and ensure that Netanyahu faces the consequences of his actions. The time to act is now. The cycle of violence and suffering must end, and justice for Palestine must be achieved. The world must act to hold Netanyahu accountable for the pain he has caused and to bring justice to the people of Gaza.